The movie begins with an asteroid hurtling directly towards Earth. In a desperate bid to save humanity, nations launch rockets at the asteroid, successfully destroying it. However, the chemical fallout from the rockets causes all cold-blooded animals to mutate. These mutated creatures turn into aggressive man-eating monsters, resulting in 95% of the human population being devoured within a year. The few survivors seek refuge underground to escape the terrors of the surface. 7 years later, we meet Joel Dawson, who resides in one of many underground bunkers known as colonies. After losing his parents, his fellow survivors have looked after him. Joel's role in the colony is primarily as a cook, as he lacks combat skills and often freezes up in dangerous situations. While the other survivors have found love, Joel is haunted by thoughts of his girlfriend Amy, from whom he was separated during the evacuation. Before she left with her family, Joel promised Amy that he would find her again. Frustrated with his life underground, Joel resolves to embark on a quest to locate Amy. His friends inform him that her colony is 85 miles away at Jenner Beach, warning him of the dangers he may face along the way. Before he departs, they provide him with a map and a crossbow, advising him to avoid confrontation and flee from danger whenever possible. As Joel steps outside for the first time in 7 years, he is struck by the beauty of the surface world. He consults his map and heads west. While traversing a deserted village, he encounters a monstrous toad. As he tries to escape, the toad attacks him, but just then, a dog appears and bites the toad, freeing Joel. The dog leads him to an old vehicle, offering shelter from the creature. Joel names the dog Boy and thanks him for the rescue before falling asleep as night falls. The next morning, Joel reluctantly says goodbye to Boy and exits the vehicle to continue his journey. However, Boy insists on accompanying him, bringing along a piece of fabric belonging to his former owner, which Joel kindly adds to his backpack. Together, they set off once more. Joel picks some berries to eat, but Boy warns him that they are poisonous, prompting Joel to refrain from consuming them. Later, he stumbles into a pit that serves as a nest for worm monsters known as sand gobblers. Overcome with panic, Joel is suddenly rescued by a man who throws him a rope. The man introduces himself as Clyde, accompanied by his adopted daughter Minnow. They inform Joel that they are traveling north to the snow-covered mountains, where there are fewer monsters due to the colder climate. During their journey, Minnow teaches Joel how to use the crossbow, advising him to clear his mind for a successful shot. They encounter a snail monster, which does not pose a threat and simply slides away. Minnow explains that not all monsters are harmful and that some can be gentle, explaining how to interpret their intentions through their eyes. That night, Joel begins to sketch the monsters he has encountered, noting their weaknesses as part of his hobby to help humanity. In the morning, Clyde invites Joel to join them, stating they would make a good team. Joel appreciates the offer, but is determined to find Amy. Minnow starts to cry, not wanting him to leave, and hugs him, asking him to visit in the future. Clyde gifts Joel a hand grenade, advising him to use it wisely. As Joel walks through a spooky swamp, Boy senses danger and hides under a structure. Joel pleads for Boy to come out when a giant centipede monster attacks him. In a moment of paralysis, Joel recalls a traumatic experience from his childhood when he tried to save his parents from a giant monster. Determined to protect Boy from a similar fate, Joel shakes off his fear, grabs his crossbow, and kills the centipede monster, reuniting with Boy in relief. That evening, as rain begins to fall, Joel seeks refuge in an abandoned motel where he meets a robot named Mavis, who has been trapped there for years due to damage from a monster. Mavis inquires about Joel's journey, and he shares his quest to find Amy. When Mavis reveals that he is only 9.3 miles away from her colony, she asks to be taken outside, revealing her emotional connection with Joel by showing him pictures of his parents. Overcome with sentiment, Joel hugs Mavis. Sadly, Mavis quickly loses power, and Joel buries her the next day before resuming his journey. Later, they are pursued by the Queen Sand Gobbler. In an effort to escape, they hide inside a hollow tree trunk, but Boy's attachment to his old owner's cloth reveals their location. Joel remembers the hand grenade Clyde gave him and throws it at the Queen Sand Gobbler, causing a massive explosion. After falling into a river, Joel finds himself covered in poisonous leeches, which he hastily removes. Frustrated, he lashes out at Boy, blaming him for their predicament, causing the dog to run off. As a result of the leech poison, Joel begins to hallucinate and loses consciousness. When he awakens, he discovers that Amy has found him while he was out cold and brought him to her colony. Amy informs Joel that they are leaving with an Australian yacht captain, Brooks Wilkinson, who has come to rescue them. Joel observes that the people in Amy's colony are all elderly and learns that she has been caring for them. He meets the yacht's crew members, Dana and Rocco, along with Brooks, who claims to be from the Australian Navy. Amy expresses gratitude for Joel's long journey, but reveals that she no longer has romantic feelings for him as she has moved on after losing someone special. Heartbroken, Joel calls himself a fool. Amy offers him a chance to join them, but Joel ultimately decides to return to his colony. He contacts his friends who rejoice at his survival, but inform him that their bunker has been repeatedly breached by monsters, worrying Joel as he confirms he will return. Brooks sends Joel some berries and beer, but upon recognizing a purple berry as poisonous, Joel grows suspicious of Brooks and rushes outside to alert everyone. To his horror, he finds that the entire colony has been poisoned. He warns Amy about Brooks, but Dana knocks him out from behind. When Joel regains consciousness, he discovers that everyone has been tied up, and Brooks orders Dana to destroy their radio tower. Amy pleads with her not to, but Dana shoots it anyway. Brooks reveals their true nature as thieves who prey on helpless colonies. He then activates equipment that summons a massive crab monster from the beach. Chaos ensues, and as everyone runs for safety, Amy frees herself and then helps Joel escape. Amy fiercely confronts Rocco, using a metal beam to incapacitate him. Joel grabs a metal rod to fend off the charging crab monster, flipping it onto its back. Brooks, however, manages to get the monster back up. During the struggle, Amy confronts Dana but is knocked out by Brooks, who insists they leave with their stolen supplies. Just then, Boy reappears, bringing joy to Joel. He instructs Boy to help Amy, and the dog's affectionate gestures awaken her. While Amy hands Joel a cannon, the crab monster captures him. Just before he can fire, Joel gazes into the monster's eyes and discovers that it means no harm. Realizing that Brooks is controlling the creature, he destroys the chain binding it to the equipment. The crab monster breaks free and turns against Brooks, who is ultimately devoured by the creature, along with his crew members, and their yacht is left in ruins. Before heading off to rescue his colony, Joel tells Amy that they are heading north to the snow-covered mountains where it is safer. He gives Amy his survival book, reassuring her that he can recreate another since the knowledge is in his mind. They share a heartfelt kiss, and she promises to find him again. Braving the same treacherous landscapes he once traversed, Joel finally arrives back at his colony, where he is warmly welcomed by everyone, hugs exchanged all around. He then broadcasts a global message to all colonies, sharing his experiences and encouraging others with his survival story. He declares that if he could thrive on the surface, anyone could, inspiring everyone to venture out from their hiding places and reclaim the world. Joel's colony, filled with hope, leaves their bunker and heads north, preparing for a new future. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a like.